Welcome to Mount Zion in the 12th hour. Let us read Malachi chapter 4 verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and the judgments. Excuse me, all people who claim that the statutes were nailed to the cross, nowhere in the scriptures, we don't have even a single line to prove that the statutes were nailed to the cross. And I'm going to prove my point. The message of Malachi is addressed to the people living in the time of the end, before the destruction of this earth. And verse 1 confirms, for it says, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So the people living today, the Gentile nations, are the people unto whom this message is addressed. And today, the Yahweh is calling upon us to remember the law of Moses, his servant. Like I said, we don't have any single line showing that the statutes were nailed to the cross when our Savior was hung on a tree. Instead, Paul teaches that the law was nailed to the cross. Cursed is every one that continues in the works of the law. So specifically, we need to find out which is that law he says that was nailed to the cross. And you will notice in the scriptures that it's the law that was our schoolmaster, which is the sacrificial law, not the statutes. The ordained system of worship is binding upon man until the close of probation. Right as we speak today, the Gentile nations are called upon to come and remember the law of Moses, the statutes, and the judgments. They still apply now to the Gentile nations. We know from the facts that the statutes were to be taken away by the man of sin. It's recorded in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25. The man of sin, he shall think to change the times and the laws. The times is the creation calendar, Yahweh's creation calendar, which was substituted in 1582. And the laws are the statutes, the feast days, which were ordained as the ordained system of worship. And also we have the confirmation in an abridgment of the Christian doctrine, page 58. It starts with a question. How prove you that the church has power to command feasts and holidays? Answer. By the very act of changing the Sabbath into Sunday, which Protestants allow of, and therefore they fondly contradict themselves by keeping Sunday strictly and breaking most other feasts commanded by the same church. So we have the feasts in the world today, which were commanded by the Roman Universal Church or Roman Catholic Church. Catholic means universal. These feasts came to replace the feasts that were given to Moses for all generations to the close of probation. Continuation with that quotation. Question. How prove you that? Answer. Because by keeping Sunday, they acknowledge the church's power to ordain feasts and to command them under sin. That is in the catechism written. So these are the facts we have to give out to you to judge for yourself. So by keeping Sunday strictly, you acknowledge the power that the universal church has got power to ordain feasts. And they ordained these feasts under sin during the Dark Ages. So whether you keep Sunday and reject the other feasts like Halloween, St. Valentine's, Patrick's Day, Christmas, Easter, January 1, you're just contradicting yourself because all these feasts were ordained by the same church. Let us read Nahum chapter 1, verse 15. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy Solomon feasts, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. A wicked is a violator of the law of Moses, or the one who rejects the feast days. So all people who keep the feasts in the last days shall not perish. And those that don't keep the feasts are going to be cut off. In fact, Paul to the Romans, chapter 10, verse 15, says, And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it's written. Where is it written? It's written in Nahum chapter 1, verse 15. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the good news of peace. Now Paul calls the feasts the good news of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. This is the plan of salvation, the ordained system of worship. When you obey the system, you are saved. When you reject the system, you are doomed. So here we are. We either remember the law of Moses to be saved, and this message is right now knocking on your heart to open. It's up to you to decide, because everyone decides their destiny. Thank you for watching, as always.